evening, everybody. Just checking in from the lamb barn again tonight. Just had a couple of new additions happen. A couple of boys. Hopefully you enjoyed the little montage of moving lambs today. We kind of a easy way to do it with moving them in the little lamb bus there from this barn over to the group barn or the shop, whichever we refer to. So we put them in smaller group pens over there as a second mothering so that they can get used to being around other moms and other lambs. So hopefully that they will be fine when we do move them outside, which it always works out that they are. So we, yeah, it works out great to be able to move them over to that barn. And the sled, aka lamb bus, works the greatest because you're not within the ewes like area, and they can smell their lambs, they can see their lambs, versus carrying them where they're up and the ewes follow a little bit closer. So it actually works out better to pull them in the little sled for the ewes that don't really like people a whole lot, which is a lot of sheep. So it, yeah, it works out pretty good. So we'll run you through all the newest additions today. There's been a few. So this morning, all 5 of these lambs were born at the same time. So these 2 monsters to this lovely mother. And then these 3 to the ewe that needed the wide load sign, and she still needs it. She looks like she's about to have 3 more lambs. So if this black ewe would have lambed at the same time and only had 1 lamb, we could have easily grabbed one of her set of triplets and did a wet foster, which you have a timeline to be able to do it. You have to, it has to be very quick at the same time as birthing, and then you got to mimic the birth coming out covered in the fluids, basically trick the ewe into believing that it's her lamb. Yeah, she had twins, so we didn't have to worry about doing that. But I'm gonna see what happens with these triplets. Mom, as you can see, has a ton of milk there. The problem with leaving triplets on the mom is one of them eventually gets left behind, and in this case it will likely be that little one right in front of mama there. She is 2 pounds lighter than the other is 2. So she will get left behind, or she will go and be stealing off of some other ewes and either end up getting hurt or stealing milk from a mother that is already feeding 2 lambs. So, which is why we have the nanny or milk machine. That's the whole reason behind it, is to be able to take the triplets and quads away from their moms and raise them, give them the best chances you can at succeeding in life. So, yeah, these guys were about 5:30 this morning. Those 2 had theirs. This mom was last night that she had these 2. They'll be ready to move over to the group barn in the morning. Just wanted to keep them in here an extra day to make sure everything's all good. But they're a day old. And these 2 boys were the newest addition. They're like 15-20 minutes old. Well, maybe half hour old. Either way, they're very new. This more Dorper one was playing. I see the black one's gonna start playing a little bit more. Again, I can't say enough for the vigor of these Dorper lambs. And I mean, it does help having this nice warm weather. Like, it's 8 degrees in the barn right now, and I have the door cracked a little bit still. So that helps a bunch as well. But yeah, 2 new additions here. And then these 2 were born this afternoon, about 4 o'clock, I guess it was. I had to run to town to grab some supplies and more construction material for the room for the nanny and everything that I explained in a couple videos ago. And she decided to go into labor right when I was gone, so thankfully Mom was home to let me know that everything was okay, and then I came home before she delivered the second one. Not that anything was wrong, but it's always nice to be available for them in case something does go wrong. As I've said, the more time you spend in the lambing barn, the better success you will have. It really bothers me having stillborns, so I'd like to have as much success as possible. So, got a couple more pens over there ready for any of these big girls that are gonna lamb tonight. I don't know for sure if any of them will. That ewe right there might. And there's another one. She kind of got a bit of a hairy fro going on. I don't know where she is right now. Number 93 anyway. Oh, there she is right there. That one right there. Are the only really, really close ones, but even then they're still probably not tonight. I guess the speckled one, number 91, is getting pretty close to. Look at the size of this ewe. Like, this camera doesn't even do her justice as to how big she actually is. The sad part about it is, though, is that she is, being a purebred, most likely going to only have 2 lambs in there. And as you can tell by that bag, she's still at least a week to 10 days away from lambing. She gets a massive, massive udder. But yeah, she's huge. So apparently the cat is losing his marbles tonight. He's a little excitable. It's funny how the cats interact with the sheep. I think I showed a video with him on his back over in that corner, playing with the sheep. And the other cat will lay down with the lambs. It's so adorable. So Merry Christmas Eve to everybody out there. And yeah, hopefully you can spend some time this holidays with your families. I'm looking forward to the Lamageddon that should come hopefully around the 27th. There'll be a few more trickle in before then, but I think the Lamageddon for most of these girls is gonna end up around the 27th. So. Anyway, have a good night. Bye.